Readers, I want to talk with you some things that could have stood out to you, like the way some of the characters talked about race. Words like stereotypes talked about the language the characters used to talk about race. I also saw how we talked about how tough the players are on each other and on the narrator. Readers, what's cool about reading work that you just did is you trusted yourself to pause, even if you weren't quite sure why that last bit stood out to you. Why something like that small little moment, lets the light shine in on who the characters are as people. So let's keep reading on and let's trust your feelings. Come back there in 3 years, they'll say, or maybe 10. You will laugh your way through all of this, sensing that their digs are some warped version of acceptance. A week in, a guy calls everyone Mr. Unleaded because he's the night manager of a nearby gas station. Will tear into you about your long, skinny, no muscle having arms. Without blinking, you'll fire back a dig about the ghetto Superman tat sketched onto his right forearm, and why you would knowingly walk into a gym full of kryptonite. Everyone loitering outside the gym that morning, waiting for Jimmy, will roar in laughter and stomp their feet and bump fists. And to your surprise, it'll be Mr. Unleaded who laughs hardest of all. But just as much as you'll begin to blend in off the court, on the court will be a completely different story. That first day, you won't get in a single game, not one. You'll follow everyone inside the dark gym, set down your stuff in the bleachers like they do, hit the court with everyone for a handful of warm-up jumpers, but when it comes time to select squads, you'll find yourself in the outside looking in. When you try to call next, they'll ignore you. You'll ask the overweight knee braced dude if you can run with his squad. He'll still He is still 3 games away, but you got all day. He'll nod and say in a deep smoker voice, "You down, young buck? I got you." But an hour later, when his team finally set to take the court, he'll drop you for a balding big man. Let's take a moment to gather your thoughts. What were you struck by in this last passage? Remember, it's important to not only pause at the moments that strike you, but also to think about that moment that illuminates about the person or the character. Also, if you need to go back and re-listen to reread, feel free to do that because readers do that all the time.